seeing. Still taking random calls. People are just calling up with whatever Christmas wishes. And we, of course, wish all of y'all a Merry Christmas. Thanks for being with us all year. Can't wait to get cranked up in 26. 26 is just going to be crazy. The midterms and everything that comes with it, all the state elections here. We'll have plenty to talk about. And as long as Trump's in the White House, we'll always have plenty to talk about. All American Metals bringing you the show this hour. Those are our buddies over there in the best. I say the Bessemer Hueytown area because they've got several facilities. But man, these guys are steel guys to the core. Their families, two families, have been. I call it walking steel. It's because they showed me a picture when I first went to do the tour of them up on some beams, and I went, Inside, I was like, hell no. But this is what they do, man. He said back in the 60s and 70s, we'd get up there and walk that stuff and erect it and put it up. And so over time, their operation grew and grew and grew until now they're fully integrated where they control all the production. They make all of their own parts, giant parts. If you're building a big commercial operation, they can handle that for you. All the way down to something like I've got, which is just a pole barn to take care of stuff on my property, and they can put those packages together for you too. And because they're in control of it, one, the parts are going to fit. They're going to be right. If it's not right, they can make you another one real quick and keep you going when it comes time to make everything vertical. They control, again, from the design phase through the production, shipping it to you, bringing it out on their trucks. Again, control of it, and then offloading it, helping you get lined up with a contractor. So if you're making some plans in the new year and it involves steel construction, they even do the residential red iron. And I had to kind of learn about that. Some residential features involve building with iron and steel as part of the architectural components and style components. They make that stuff too. So look to them and trust them because they're local, they are faster, they are custom, and they're cheaper than some of the big names that are out there in the steel business. It is All American Metals. This is how you reach them if you want to get going with them and get them to do you a turnkey package. AA-metal.com, AA-metal.com. Okay, the nursing home situation. I still haven't seen that they're doing a news conference, but we've got a super horrifying tragedy in Bristol, Pennsylvania. That's Bucks County. Nursing home exploded. Massive rescue effort. People trapped inside. It's just heartbreaking here 2 days out from Christmas. That's just probably got to be one of the worst rescue puzzles to solve if you're a first responder. You've got completely immobile people, smoke inhalation, the concussive impact of the explosion, ongoing fire, just chaos on the scene. Let me see if we have this. There is a live news conference going on. I think this is, let me see which one this is. This may be the Pennsylvania or the Delaware story. We had AJ, I'm going to send this to you and check it out and see if it's anything that would be of use for us this hour. This is, we had a state trooper shot in Delaware at a DMV. And an assailant was also killed in that. Other people were hurt. It was an active shooter situation for a minute. I think it's now all under control. But there have been two dueling stories with Spot News this afternoon. Supreme Court ruled against Trump sending the National Guard into Chicago. We went through a lot of that last hour. But the Trump team just came out 15 minutes ago and announced they're surging into New Orleans. Now, again, it's because the governor of New Orleans has agreed to allow them in to help. They need the help. New Orleans could just be amazing if they get the crime under control. And so the feds are there to help. The governor wants it, and it shouldn't be a challenge or a problem. But it's all about state sovereignty, and that's something it's a good lesson for us to be paying attention to with this ruling today. Let's go to Teacher Tom. Boy, Teacher Tom, he's become a good friend of mine over the years. Had us back out. I drug my wife with me to talk to his students this year, and they enjoyed her more than me, actually. AJ, when we were done with our speech, she wound up in the classroom with them, hanging out and talking to the kids, especially the young girls. Tom, how you doing tonight, man? Hope all is well with y'all this Christmas.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I just wanted to call and wish you and your wife and your sons and grandchildren and their wives just a Merry Christmas. And I know we hadn't talked a little bit over the radio, and so just been trying to listen in as much as I can. I did want to share with you, though, my historical society did a canned food drive, and it was to help out with Chilton County DHR. The kids collected over 1,700 cans
Good
to
Lord.
help less fortunate people out.
And look,
And I was
yours is a small school. I mean, your school's and my high school about the same size, and that's a lot of food for that size group for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just appreciate it. And I just want to say once again, thank you for coming. Yes, everybody that's listening, yes, Leland's become a real friend. Got to know each other over the radio, finally got to meet face to face. And I'm saying this as humbly as I can say it. It was the thrill of a lifetime to have Leland come out and speak to
Well,
my kids, not once, but twice. So you teachers that are out there, you need to get and email him and have him come out to your school.
don't
It'll
start that,
bless
Tom.
your kids
I
beyond.
can't. Don't start that, Tom. I can't make all of them, but I'll tell you this though. I appreciate more what you guys do. Y'all are making an impact out there teaching and teaching them right the way you guys teach them. No nonsense. They're at such an impressionable age. By the time they get all cynical and become talk radio listeners, it's been a while. So you're planting some good seeds in these kids early to love their country and do the right thing. And I appreciate what you do too, Tom.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And once again, to you and AJ and his family, Merry Christmas. Please be safe and keep your head on a swivel.
Merry Christmas, Tom. You too, man. And keep your head on a swivel. Man, I just get these eerie feelings because we've had holiday incidents in the last few years, and there seemed to be a spate of those running up to this week. Remember last couple of weekends ago with all the violence. And sometimes gatherings are targets of opportunity. So y'all just be careful. If you're having your church over for Christmas at your church facility, make sure you're handling security. It's a crazy time, and we just pray everybody gets through it okay. AJ, what was that news conference? Did you get that? Was it something useful or
No,
which one?
that's on another case because I was looking at it,
Okay.
and it's for some Melody Buzzard case.
Yeah, I don't even know about that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
There's
that's
a
what
lot
that
going
link
on.
that you sent me is on. I don't think they started a press conference yet on
Okay.
any of these stories.
We'll keep an eye on it. I'm just curious as to if they have any clue as to what would have caused that explosion or how it's going. But they've got their hands full right now, and probably don't have much time to update the country as we sit and watch. One other story is, according to the internet gossip, and I'll talk about it just because it seems legit, and you may have seen this yourself. So the feds started dumping the Epstein files last Friday, and they've been kicked around and cherry picked. And today was another dump. They had 30,000 today that got dumped. People are complaining about the redactions. But somebody discovered on one of the files, and I don't pretend to be a technical expert and to explain this, but I think I can kind of explain it in layman's terms. So say you download a redacted document and you got what would be a sheet of paper with black ink on it, right? If you print it, you're kind of stuck with it, right? But somebody determined that you're not going to believe this. You can cut and paste. You can copy and paste the redaction, and then when you copy it and then transfer it and paste it on another document, the words show up.
Really?
So what we're saying is the feds didn't properly digitally redact the file. They just covered it. Let me see if I can explain this the way I think it would work technically. And some of you smart computer geeks could explain it better than me. So each one of those characters, let's say there's a sentence that says the sentence start, last Tuesday, AJ went home, and then the rest is redacted. The rest of the sentence reads, took a dump and fell asleep. I had to drag you into it. So if you try to copy that redacted part that's covered up with the black, the digital code that represents each of those letters and words is still there. The copy feature is looking for that. The thing that's covering up is just another digital layer of a color. It's not like when you use a black marker on a piece of paper and cover the words, and then how do I explain this? you cover the words, and then it's physically covered. This is just a layer of a digital stripe over text that's still there to the computer that's copying it. It can still see it. And so all you have to do is copy and paste, and you can read the whole redaction. The internet's going to go wild with all the redactions. Let me just say, are the feds in the Justice Department that dumb about technology? Do you remember when Biden's team went out and they started trying to digitally destroy evidence of funneling money through USAID, for example? And Musk's team, Musk is, of all the people in the world, went right in and hired the smart guys that found all the money. I mean, they didn't have enough sense to really dump and delete that stuff. So this is plausible that they are that goofy, or maybe it was intentional. They wanted the public to see it. They did their due diligence to redact, but the redactions are still visible. And then you got to wonder, are there going to be lawsuits because of that? Because let's say, okay, maybe there's the name of what would have been a minor that was redacted because they were a minor or a victim, and the redactions were correct to be done, but then they did so technically in a way that made them not redactions at all. You're going to have lawsuits out the wing, even though it's difficult to sue the federal government. Are you serious? You can just cut and paste it?
I mean, that's
a bunch of idiots.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Now, the reason I kind of understand this is I'll just give you all a background. I had let's just say a contract situation where I was in negotiations during employment. And I remember you can share certain documents when you're in these negotiations, and some of the stuff you want to keep confidential. And I remember my attorney's firm said, don't just scan it in and put little digital blocks on there because it's easy to remove that. We can see what's under there. He said, so what you got to physically, here's what I had to do, AJ. I had to print it off and physically do the redactions. I use little pieces of sort of sticky note paper, and I covered up the digits and the numbers and the stuff you wanted to keep confidential so that the rest of the contract language was visible, and then made a copy of that and sent that copy so it was physically redacted. And I guess they didn't want to go to the trouble to physically do that, so they just laid that digital cover. It's like pulling a blind down on a window versus spray painting the window, right? All you got to do is raise the blind. And apparently that's what the cut and paste feature does. People are going to go nuts on that all weekend. People are going to be sitting at their Christmas events going through Epstein documents.
Oh, God.
Not me. I'll just talk about whatever they find after they do all the hard work. That is both laughable and, again, I can't verify it. I just keep seeing it posted, and there's somebody has challenged people to just go take a look. You can go to the Epstein, I think they call it the Epstein Library, and just look at your own documents and test it out. I would do it live here on the air, but I'm not that bored with the show yet. If we see some other confirmation of what they hid. But what's good about this is we can find out, are the redactions legit? Are they protecting people that shouldn't be protected with the redactions, or are the redactions correct and will have been done so in the proper way? I will say this too, though. And this is a warning to people listening to the show. Don't get cute and go unredact a federal document and then republish it online. Then you're going to be in violation of the rights of the people. I don't know, say they covered up the name of a victim, and then you go uncover the name of the victim with the cut and paste method, and then go publish that outside of the victim's protection and permission. I think that creates legal jeopardy for the people that are reposting as well. So you need to keep that in mind if you're out there having fun with this stuff this afternoon. It's sick. The world is sick. Blakely's Bouquets is there for you through the holidays, and as we get into the new year, boy, we go from holidays and New Year's and all that, and then boom, it's Valentine's Day and it's birthdays, and here come all the special events from 2026. Make Blakely's Bouquets your florist. We all kind of need one in our lives. You need a go-to, because sometimes giving flowers is just pure spontaneity. You get moved, or somebody is down and you know they need flowers, or you're in the moment and you've got to quickly reach out and get those flowers sent. Bereavement flowers, celebratory flowers, all these things. Let Blakely's, once you've used their system, you're in the system, and it's so quick, so easy to use their online system. If you want a more personal touch and you want to go by and get to know them and hang out with them, they'll love you to do that, and then y'all can do some personal custom work as well. They're just so kind and so talented Their prices are fair. The website's amazing. Their delivery's impeccable. And they send you that follow-up text to let you know everything made it. And that's exciting when you're trying to give some flowers. It's Blake Lee's Bouquets, BlakeLee'sBouquets.com, BlakeLee'sBouquets.com. It's 425, Leland Live, Talk 99.5, Southern Skies Dermatology. Y'all, here we are. Had a little bit of sunshine today. Winter, I mean, I guess maybe people aren't thinking about skin cancer during the winter. I think it's a good time to go get checked. You're not in the middle of doing damage. You got some downtime, not being in the sun. Let them give you an assessment and see where you are. You don't want to be dealing with skin cancer, melanoma in particular. And look, we're all vulnerable. Black, white, any Hispanic, any background, young, old, it can hit everybody. As there is a propensity for older people and fair skinned people. That's just a function of the disease and how it travels with you during your life and your body's ability to keep it at bay. So get checked, get an assessment, find out where you are, and do it in the new year while you're doing your New Year's resolutions, do all these screenings and checks. It could very well save your life. We've had listeners over the years repeatedly to reach out. Those are the ones I hear from the most. I rarely hear from the people that go, "Hey, I went to Southern Skies, everything's good." But I do hear from people that go, "You know what, dude? I would not have gone. There's no way I would have gone. I wouldn't have thought of it. I kept hearing your ads. I went, and the last guy I talked to, I was actually in there myself getting checked, and a guy said, "Man, they found a melanoma on my ankle. I would have had no clue. Thanks for nudging me to get in here." Dr. Mario and his team are the skin cancer experts. Southern Skies Dermatology.com. Southern Skies Dermatology.com. Get your appointment in the new year. Know that you're healthy. Take care of yourself. Somebody loves you enough to want you to go. Southern Skies Dermatology.com. Well, let's talk about the Powerball. I keep seeing this pop up in the news. Of course, we're trapped here in Alabama on our tiny little island of morality, and we can't play the lottery, AJ. It is up to 1.7 billion
Oh God.
with the B. I don't know what the record is. Didn't it get over 2 billion one time?
I don't think it's gotten that. I think it's gotten close to that, but I don't think it ever got like to 2 billion yet.
And the
that I know of.
drawing is, let's see, 1.7, no
Friday.
winner. It's
either tonight or
tomorrow.
Friday.
It's Christmas Eve. It's tomorrow.
Yeah. What's today? Tuesday?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. It does Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
I would not know. And this is in the Powerball. Of course, the Mega Millions is high too. I saw it going through the airport, and it was last weekend. It was 1.2, I think. So it quickly crawled to 1.7. There were no winners. 2 drawings after that.
It's always like at some obscure location that you've never heard of in the middle of nowhere. You know, and people like drive to the border, going to Georgia, right there. As soon as you pass a big fireworks display place, there's like a gas station that everybody loves to go to.
Yeah.
Right, and get all the lottery tickets just so you can get home and be like, oh,
Yep.
not a winner.
There's a Publix down around the 30A area, and I thought I had read about this, but I was talking to a lady at another Publix, and this Publix has had 2 lottery winners. It's on Highway 98 down close to Seaside, Seagrove, all that stuff where people go to the beach. But they've had 2 winners out of the same Publix. 2, not not Powerball probably, but 2 big, full multi-millionaire winners. I think in the old days, the way it used to work, the retail establishment gets a share of the winnings if somebody wins.
Yeah, they get after a bonus for having the winning ticket. Yeah,
for putting out with all the people coming in there crowding out their store. If it's just what happened over in Georgia was when they first came out with scratch offs, and they had to come out with scratch offs because people were getting bored with the lottery. It takes too long, and they were never winning. Scratch off is more immediate play, and it's what drives the addiction, right? There's some addiction to it. But people were crowding out on payday. People were crowding out the gas stations. Some of the gas stations didn't want to do it anymore because they couldn't sell Yoo-Hoos and gas and crackers and stuff and let people come in there and trash the toilets. They had too many people standing around. It was a deterrent to their normal customers who would just drive to the next gas station. So some of them quit participating in it altogether.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1.7 billion tomorrow night.
I remember my family back in the day. That was must-watch TV, watching the
lottery every
numbers,
night.
Yes, when they come out and play.
You ain't got a chance in hell of winning. But you dang sure don't if you don't buy a ticket. So, all right, back here in a minute. 4:36. Here we go tonight. How about giving somebody a doctor's appointment for Christmas? I'm serious. Michelson Laser Vision. That'd be the gift of sight. Oh, wow. What a wonderful procedure it's been for me. Look, it's elective. I mean, nobody has to do this. But the freeing of your life and getting rid of glasses and contacts, and aside from that, getting that encumbrance out of your life and that routine out of your life, being able to see much better with your own eyes, it's almost indescribable. I'm still amazed. It's been over 6 years, and I'll be looking out, especially if I can see a long way from out traveling. I can see off in the horizon. It's still amazing to me what I can see that I was missing for years of not even looking into it, not even attempting to get LASIK. And I had always known about the reputation of Michelson and had met Dr. Michelson a few times over the years. And I knew if I ever did it, that's where I would be going. But I had no intent to go get LASIK. And it took a visit by me. And I went there. Many of you know the story by now. I went there because of radio business. They wanted to come on the show. I needed to understand how it works and what I would be talking about. I already knew their reputation, which made it easy. But the more I looked into it, I keep saying that. That's a pun. I get it. The more I checked it out, the more I understood it made sense. And then it really was a light bulb moment. I went, you know what? That makes sense. Let me see if it'd be something that I could do. Because, you do have to qualify and find out if you're eligible for the procedure. And more of you are eligible nowadays because of the Contour system that they brought online that is super advanced. So ask them about that if you've got certain conditions, maybe scar tissue from a previous surgery that didn't go as well, or some stigmatism situations and whatnot. So man, when he gave me the good news, I said, let's do it. So I signed up, and it was such a quick procedure. It was completely painless. People ask me all the time, did it hurt? It didn't hurt at all. You just lay there. Everything goes dark for a minute while they're doing it. And then, boom, you get up off the table. My eyes were watery from the stuff the solution they put in your eyes so they can do the surgery. And I looked out the window, and I was really amazed at that. That evening, I've described it as sometimes you get a little shampoo in your eyes and it's a little irritating. It's kind of like that. They give you something to help you sleep, and the next day you're good to go. There's a couple of weeks where you do wear some covers over your eyes so you don't rub your eyes in the middle of the night. They don't want you swimming, and opening your eyes underwater, things like that, putting pressure on the cornea. But if you follow their advice, I think hopefully your procedure is going to be just like mine, and you're going to see much better and be telling everybody about it. Be making fun of your relatives at Christmas. Why are you wearing glasses?
Mm-hmm.
You old school. You can just look down your nose at people.
Now that joke they used to pull on you, hey, how many fingers am I holding up?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can tell them.
Could you please pass the mashed potatoes? 4 eyes. That kind of stuff. I do it to everybody. No, it really was. It was cool. The day I threw all the solution out, for years, I'd just been carrying this stuff around everywhere I went. I had to make sure if I was traveling, I had to get extra contacts, make sure I had my stuff, make sure I had all the things I needed in case I lost a contact or had to change them out. Don't even think about it anymore. And one of my favorite parts is something goes bump in the night. I mean, I'm jumpy. Something goes bump in the night, and it's not a cat trying to leap on me. One of mine tried to kill me last night, AJ. He tried to assassinate me in my sleep. Almost had to pull a pistol on him. I'm gonna sleep armed tonight just in case he tries that again. But yeah, I want to be able to open my eyes and see what's going down. Yeah. I don't want to be foaming for my glasses. It's a safety thing with me. I'm ready to go.
No, I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So what did your cat do to try to almost kill you?
He bit my foot. Dude bit my foot. It either bit or clawed it just in the middle of the night. I guess it was exposed at one point.
He was trying to eat you.
I was in a coma. I was Rip Van Winkle, man. It's like 3 a.m. This dude tried to. All I know is I was stabbed in the foot in the middle of the night, and I jumped up and said a lot of foul language that I have asked the Lord to forgive me for, and the cat ran off. I didn't see him for a little while. Pissed me off.
Now the cat has a taste of Leland.
So you're saying it's going to get worse now?
It's going to get worse.
Maybe he didn't like the taste.
No. He's been he or she's been sampling you.
It's two boys now. We got 2 boy cats, and one of them, as you know, we named Maximus, and when we got the newest boy cat, we wound up naming him Leonidas, King Leonidas from 300, from the movie 300. It kind of went together.
Right.
Call him Leo. I think it was Leo, that little punk bitch. And by the way, the dog, can I just go ahead and vent? I've been frustrated with this stuff. The dogs keep chewing my stuff, and luckily it hasn't been anything major. But at one point, I used to keep all my little charging stuff near where I sit. I got the spot on one of my couches. This is my spot. Everybody knows it's my spot. Which is why in a minute I'm going to tell you about Lonnie's Furniture Company. You should get Dad his own space. He wants his own space. He wants to get us away from all y'all. But I got this little spot, and I put all my charging cables down there because I got the computer and the phone, all the stuff you have to charge at night. For years, that's where I kept my stuff. And then the puppy, the newest dog, decides they're going to chew all the wires. You know how much a wire costs for one of these computers?
How
It's
much?
$80.
Oof.
It's $80. So I bought a new wire. Thought it was a one-off. Bought a new wire, $80 wire for this Apple Mac. Took it home, plugged it up, left it on the floor again. Same day, same dog, chewed it again. $80.
Dang.
I have discovered that those generic cables made in China on Amazon, like pow, 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 charging cable, work just well. And I've started buying these little $12 ones now.
Yeah. So
I had to move the whole operation and hide it where the cats couldn't get to it.
well, I mean, you just like have one where they can just chew on it, so they think they have that one, and
That's a good idea. I should have kept the old cable and just left it out. But then again, I don't want them to think that's okay
right,
because we're trying to.
and
I'm
then
gonna have
put
to
like
get-
hot pepper sauce on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I should spike the old cable, leave it out as a bait cable,
Yep.
and teach them so I don't have to keep buying generic Chinese cables made by slave labor for $12. Some slaves who made this cable. There's no way.
I mean, that's what I do for when I had a cat. I didn't like my cat being on the like the cat will like get on the counter and then get into like cabinets. I'm like, yo, we can't do this. That's unsanitary, unhealthy. I don't need no cat. I don't want to be that guy that's cat hair everywhere. And so I had to get a spray bottle, and I would spray the cat every time it got like on the counter.
Yep.
Eventually, the cat stopped. But I mean, I had to like let them know, like, hey, you ain't finna just do that. You ain't finna walk on my counters while I cook food there. No, get down.
But they're defiant. You do something, you tell them no, they come right back. Like, you can't tell me, and they'll come right back. They just got egos.
Yeah.
But one of them's a little clumsy, and he falls off stuff all the time. I think he gets embarrassed because he'll fall off something, and his ego gets checked, and he runs off and hides for a while. He's like, oh, man, that was embarrassing. Don't tell my brother. I fell off the sink.
Hey, yeah, cat's supposed to land on their feet.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I let my whole tribe down.
How cat of me.
I landed on my head like one of those clumsy dogs over there. I'm going to go hide now and think about things.
Start rethinking about my whole life now.
It's a new world for me, man. I'm still adjusting to it. It's happening, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about it, about getting a pet, especially for the kids. But as of right now, I know my son's definitely not gonna take care of them or it.
No,
or
they never
hers.
will. They all kids want a puppy. They're
Yeah.
not going to do anything.
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna have to be the one walking
Yep.
the dog and feeding the dog, and
Yep.
when the dog gets sick, and
You're going to be the ones with the turds. You're going to be picking
Yeah.
up the turds.
yeah. Now the question is, will I have an outside dog or an inside dog? Because I kind of want to, kind of like both, because I don't want to have an outside dog. Because I grew up with outside dogs, right? Or at least my uncle had some, and yeah, let's just say that backyard, because I don't know what he was feeding that dog, but that dog left some
yeah.
some big prizes back
Is that
there.
an elephant? What is?
Right.
Well, somebody used to dump their dog by my mailbox.
I
back
remember that
when I lived in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's like I clearly have a rhinoceros. Somebody has a rhino that they're walking every morning before I get up. There's no way a normal dog can crap that much.
Right. Right. It's not
It
like no
took
little
a shovel.
chihuahua.
You couldn't pick it up. It was a shovel full.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, nuisance dog, that's a whole nother thing. I had a situation recently where I was witness to a nuisance dog situation where dogs were barking and irritating the neighbors. And that's why I live in the country.
Right.
See, I don't have any neighbors. I can't bother them with the barking dogs. And by the way, the little dogs at my house, one of them, our oldest dog, is speciesist against horses. This dog, a horse rode up in my yard one day while she was out there with me. One of my neighbors came over on his horse. Yeah, AJ, I live in the country, man. Calm down. Dude rode up. He just wanted to say, hey, I was down there working on a project down by the road. It was cool. I got to see his horse. Dog lost her mind. I mean, lost her mind. And now I can't watch a movie if a horse shows up on the screen. She flips out. The other dog flips out too and doesn't know why. They just got to flip out because they both got to flip out, and they'll run outside like the horse, like it's a window, and the horse is out there somewhere. They go out there and try to attack this horse. I'm like, calm down. It's just a horse. They're nice. No, this dog
Right.
is mental about horses.
You feel some type of way about this dog.
Well, I got stories.
Mm.
Feeling a lot of time trying to stay off politics right now. You can tell. Speaking of having your own space, let's talk about Lonnie's Furniture Company for a minute, because I'm going to tell you, I am going to tell you, it's one of the best gifts you can ever give dad or granddad or somebody like that is their own dang space. They love it. Lots of people do. And recliners, if you think about it, a good old Lazy Boy recliner kind of defines that. You get in your spot, that's your spot. Remember Edith and Archie Bunker? They had the two chairs on the set, and he always sat in that same chair. My granddad was like that. We bought him a Lazy Boy recliner. The whole family got put together and got him a recliner. And, man, I think he sat in that for the last 20 years of his life. It's a thing, man. That's why they call them Lazy Boys. They've got better deals on the Lazy Boys at Lonniest than you're going to find through the end of the year, continuing with their sales, 10% off, basically $100 off every $1,000 you spend at the register. So they'll measure that up for you. Talk to them when you get there if you want to take advantage of that. They've got a grouping that they get. It's their most popular sectional. And Reggie reached out to me last week, and he said people are always demanding this. We sell them out every time we get them in. And they just took a huge shipment of these reclining sectionals with built-in recliners. I think they have 2 in them. Right now, they've got those for $24.99 at Lonnie's Furniture Company. This is a huge store. If you've never been, you got some downtime during the holidays, it's kind of fun just to go see what I've been talking about. Go in there, browse around, look around. Once you get to know them, you'll have your furniture spot. There is no doubt about it. They've got everything you need in a furniture store. All the selection you can handle in one spot. The brands you want, they don't sell cheap junk. They will not put cheap furniture in their store. So well-known brands throughout the store, names like Lazy Boy and Bassett and Stressless and all the others. And a variety of things, not just of each room, but they've got outdoor stuff as well. And for me, there are other esoteric things like there's no traffic and you don't hit a red light. You just get on the interstate and pop off the interstate and there you are. They've got a sales team that has just that right sort of Midas touch between helping you out a little bit, but backing off when you need a minute to think, because it's a big decision. You're decorating your home. Usually it's thousands of dollars if you get into certain kinds of pieces, and you want to get it right. So they're there for help with that. Arlene has a whole studio to help you design this stuff and make it just right. She'll give you options and let you decide, not push things on you. Designing people kind of get on my nerves thinking they know what my taste is. Sometimes I don't even know what it is, but I know what it ain't, and it ain't that. You know what I mean? When people are pushy, they're just not like that. They understand why? Because they've been in this business. The company's been there 91 years. So over the years, you've learned a methodology to keep treating your customers right, delivering, bringing things to them, and handling it with care, because they're going to come back if you do that. And that's why they're so successful and why they have this mega store in this little bitty town in North Jefferson County. It's Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com, Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com. All right, till 4:52 as we ease on toward 5 o'clock. Sun going down, and here we go. The days get longer from here, and I'm kind of excited about that too. Birmingham Broker bringing you the show tonight. If you have a car to sell in the new year or to trade, either way, you got one that you're going to change up this year, reach out to Birmingham Broker and let them deal with yours for you. They'll sell it retail. You just don't want to. Why would you take a less price? You wouldn't do that probably for anything else in your life, but here's why we do it. This is why I used to do it. It's just easy. It's easy to hand it over to the dealer because you're excited about the new one, and then they start hitting you with all these numbers, and man, you're screwed out of several $1,000s in those deals because the dealers are in business too, and they've got to buy your car at bottom dollar. They can't pay you retail, then they can't sell it, right? They have to pay you the wholesale price. It's an unfair trade because they're buying yours wholesale, you're buying theirs retail. But you're paying for the convenience. You're paying for them handling the transaction. Look, there's a better way. Do it at Birmingham Broker. They'll handle the transaction too. You still get a retail price. You're going to get a lot more than your trade-in value. And you're going to get a lot more, most cases, than trying to do it yourself. It's not an easy thing to do because you got to understand the market and where to market it and to price it. And you got to advertise it and clean it and prep it and try to keep it clean while you're showing it off and haggling with some moron. Let them handle all that. Get more money. It's gone. Life's good. Go buy another one somewhere else. They're downtown Birmingham, right there on 4th Avenue South, just around the corner from Iron City to give you a locator. And getting to know Craig and Keith, man, they're just the best guys. It'll feel like you've got new friends. They're going to treat you with respect, work hard on your deal, and get it done. BHAMBroker.com. BHAMBroker.com. Y'all reach out to them. All right. I had this on my list today, too, and with all the breaking news at the beginning of the show, I didn't quite get to it. Brown University had announced last night that they fired their head of security, their police chief that was on that campus. They are scapegoating this chief is incompetent. You knew that from the way they handled the news conferences. They wouldn't let him talk. It's just a fact. He was a DEI hire. They hired him for aesthetic reasons. We know that because they were pushing that agenda real hard the last 5 years. And this guy came with a bad record out of Utah where he lied about his credentials. So not only are his credentials not up to speed to be a chief, he'd already had a problem in another state. They took him in and because, hey, we're Brown. We know better than you. And this guy didn't just fail that day. He wasn't just incapable of handling a news conference. All of the security planning on that campus was utterly disgraceful. The more we find out about this homeless guy that was living in one of the buildings, which is a security issue itself, had repeatedly warned for a couple of weeks or more about this guy casing the building and lurking around. That's why in that video, we finally saw him basically chasing the shooter around before the shooting. This homeless guy had better instincts than that cop. And I said it on Twitter right that day. I was like, make the homeless guy the police chief. He's got a better track record. So the thing is, here's what I'm going to get at. It's one thing for them to fire an incompetent police chief. They should have never hired this chief. He wasn't ready for the job. It was on his resume that he lied about his credentials at his first job. You don't hire that when it comes to the safety of your students. But they also need to fire this $3 million a year president that's overseeing this shenanigans. Why is it that the poor chief, and look, I know he didn't know what he was doing, but hey, he wanted a job. I almost don't fault him for taking the job. I fault them for not putting the safety of the school ahead of everything else. Now, we can go into a whole nother conversation about the Providence police chief, who was just, this dude was all over the map. That goofy mayor, they've got bad leadership all over the place on this story. But this university president needs to be ousted. She's been there forever. She is as arrogant as the other Ivy League university presidents that have been confronted over their bad policies. And the federal government needs to lean on this campus as hard as possible. 2 people were killed and several shot in a very much preventable incident. Not only could they have had a better plan to keep the kids safe, they should have had a better plan to react. They had everything they needed within moments of the shooting to stop this guy from going and killing again, and they didn't do it. The life of that MIT professor is on the hands. Look, ultimately, it's in the hands of the shooter that killed him. But the fumbling that they did to try to frame the wrong guy, chase him down, going down rabbit trail, sending all the kids home, they did everything wrong that led to the chaos that we all watched unfold last week. And what are they going to do? To try to save their jobs, to try to save her $3 million a year elitist job, she's going to fire the police chief.
But let me ask you this. So, we talk about the homeless guy because it's like a catch-22 because, in some aspects, being suspicious isn't a crime. And you hear that a lot, right? And so you wonder if even if he did approach the police chief or some type of person in law enforcement, it may not have been the police chief itself, right? But, and I hear it all the time when it comes to people being suspicious. Being suspicious isn't a crime. Like if I see you walking down the street and you may look, and I could tell, and they might approach you, but if you're not in the act of actually doing a crime at that point in time, then what is the role of the police officer? Because if he's not doing a crime, he's not really bothering nobody at the time. I mean, of course, later down the road, crime did happen, but before then, he wasn't doing anything. Then what?
We live in a country since 9/11 that repeatedly tells us if you see something, say something.
Right.
That you are part of the solution. If you live in a community and you know things are going on, let the police know. I'm not saying they could have arrested this guy for casing the building, but they would have had him on the record. They would have known who the suspect was before he came back on the campus. If they had facial recognition cameras, which every other campus has at the key buildings, they would have been able to know which buildings he was going in and out of. This guy was a trespasser on that campus. They don't have cameras in the cars. They didn't have cameras on that building. They couldn't access the ones they did have. It took a homeless guy and a random person and license plate readers, LPRs all through the area for them to track him down. By the time they got to him, he was killed.
Yeah.
So part of good crime prevention, and this is the chief's job, the police can't stop every crime, but they're there to lay out the safety parameters to keep people safe. They didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He was in a ceremonial job, and he didn't know what to do because he wasn't trained what to do, and they hired him for the wrong reasons, and people die when that happens. And that's exactly what happened on that Brown University campus and at MIT. Back in a minute.